Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to my very first live IG session. I've never been live on IG before, so it's a big day for everyone. I'd love for you to say hello to my black dress. This beautiful black dress who's joining me today. Hey, Harley Fox, the fox that rocks. How you doing, girl? This is my beautiful blue sequin dress. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me today. Right on time. She was right on time. Both of these I have gotten from Poshmark, and I'm actually going to be talking a little bit about Poshmark and Depop today, very briefly, so we can get an idea of what the heck my workshop is about in a couple weeks. I'm going to be hosting a workshop. Big thank you and shout out to the Pearl Noir and the Noir Pageant for hosting my workshop, which is going to be on October 27th, which is a Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's a 1 hour long workshop on secondhand apps and what they are and how to sell things through them. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on in. I'm going to get started. I have notes here. And thank you for saying that my dresses are gorgeous, Harley and Super Ninja Evan. I agree. I love them so much. I can't wait until I can fit into them. It's going to take a little more work, but they're clearly worth it. Hey, Marvin, how's it going? Welcome. Thank you for joining me here. So I'm just going to get right into it. And of course, I have notes off to the side. So bear with me as I get through my first live with my notes here. But in case you haven't met me, my name is Selena Starkiller. I'm a burlesque dancer and a former retail associate who lives here in Connecticut. I have over 15 years experience selling high-end retail and specialty retail. So when the pandemic happened, in order to make some extra money, I found some secondhand apps like Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Etsy, and OfferUp, and started selling off things that I wasn't using anymore, or things that I knew that were worth a lot of money that I could part with. This was a way that I just kind of helped supplement my income when the lockdown happened. And now it's kind of turned into a little side gig for me where I actually go out and hunt for items. Thank you for all the hearts, everyone. I'll hunt for items and clean them, repair them, and resell them. So let's talk about what a secondhand app actually is. A secondhand app is a digital marketplace where you sell goods for monetary value, like money. Hey, how about that? That's super easy, right? So this can include eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Depop, Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot out there. They all have different percentages, and they all have a little bit of a different user base and different items that work better on them. And I'll go into that a little bit more later. Yes, Marvin, I definitely have to take you shopping, especially now that I saw what you wore at the last scandalous Saturday's burlesque. Whoosh. I'm gagged, I'm gooped. We have to go shopping sometime soon for sure. All right, let's see. Where did I leave off here? Yes, I got so distracted thinking about what Marvin was wearing with those gloves. My God. So yes, these apps and digital marketplaces can be a really great way to start like a side business where you just kind of turn over your clothing a couple times a season and make a little extra cash for that. It's really easy to get started without a lot of overhead because it's your own items. A lot of this stuff is already living in your closet, in your drawers. It's that sweater that you haven't touched in 3 years, but you don't know what to do with it and you don't feel like donating it. This is where you would take that item, research it a little bit, and put it on one of those apps. Hey, Falana, thanks for joining. So good to see you. So let me see where I left off here, my little notes. Thank you for bearing with me, people. Yes, so who is this for? Who is able to open their own marketplace? You might be thinking you have nothing to offer for sale, and I would actually challenge you to think outside of that box. I make a habit personally of going through my closet and my dresser twice a year, not a month, that would be insane, twice a year. Just as the seasons change, and I just kind of look at what didn't I wear all season. For instance, now we're changing into fall, so I'll take a look at all of my summer items. What didn't I wear? What haven't I touched? What's like sat in the back of the dresser that I didn't even remember I had? I'll take those items and consider whether or not I want to keep them in my life, keep them stuffed in the back of the drawer, or if I want to let them go onto someone else. From there, I will research the item to see if it's worth anything. If it's worth a pretty good amount, then I'll usually put it up for sale and hold on to it until it does sell. If it's only worth a couple bucks, or if I'm feeling like it's just not worth my time, then I'll go ahead and I'll donate those items. But the reason why this is so important, especially to me, and I think you, and hopefully you, this is why I want to make this course, is it's really simple to get some of your purchase price back this way. So if we're thinking of our clothes as like, well, that's a $20 shirt, like I don't want to just donate it or whatever, or $50 shirt, or who knows, there's people with $100 shirts out there in the world. If you don't want to just donate it, then you can sell it as long as it's in pretty good condition and get some of that money back. Put that money back in your pocket so that you can buy something else that works for you or something that you need. It's a lot better than just donating stuff that you know is worth something so that you can put that money back in your pocket and maybe donate some of the things that aren't worth as much, if that makes sense. Hi everyone. Hi new people who joined. Thank you so much for coming in. Let me see where I left off in my notes here. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments and I'll discuss them after my little mini lecture here. Yeah, so go through your closet, donate or sell the things that you don't want or need anymore. And this can be done with everything in your home, from books to action figures to prom gowns. Hello, they're right here. To shoes, glassware, almost anything you can think of, as long as it can fit in a box, you can sell it on these apps. Now, if you have something, for instance, like a bar stool that you want to sell, obviously it's going to be really hard to ship that. And selling those on these type of apps isn't going to really go that well because it's going to cost so much in shipping. It's going to be a nightmare for you to get a quote on. So those items would be better suited to marketplaces that offer local pickup options or meetup options like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. Yes, fit in a box. We're thinking inside the box and we're also thinking outside the box, Super Ninja Evan, you know, where we're thinking within the constraints and without the constraints. Hey Moss, how are you? Hi Sleepy. So yeah, if you have an item like a bar stool that won't fit in a box, put it on a marketplace with a better local pickup option than like a Poshmark or a Depop. You can only sell those items in boxes. But Facebook or OfferUp, you can go ahead and list that and someone might come to you or you might meet halfway. That's a really easy way to kind of lessen the headaches around cleaning out. So next, let's quickly talk about how easy is it to actually start your own marketplace. So it's a lot easier than you might think. This is not a traditional marketplace, obviously, so you don't have to have a bajillion pieces of stock. This can usually be done in 60 seconds, just like signing up for any app or website or anywhere you make an account these days. It happens like that. 60 seconds, you put your information in and you're ready to go. The thing that's going to take more time and more of your energy certainly is looking up the items, researching their cost, taking pictures of the items, and then marketing the items yourself afterwards. I want to make it clear that this is where the time chunk comes in. Starting it and getting it up and running is super easy, but you need to make sure you take good pictures. You need to make sure your description is accurate, and you want to have a fair price. You can't be out here price gouging people, and you certainly don't want to cheat yourself by making these items like super cheap, like $3 only. So it's really super easy to get started and simple, but bear in mind you are going to spend time taking care of these items from when you list them to when they actually sell. And that can be anywhere from one day it takes to sell an item, or it could be like 3 months. My husband also has a closet that he kind of neglects, let's be honest. He kind of neglects it. And lately, his sales have been picking up. So even if you just kind of throw stuff on there half-heartedly and store it for when it sells, you will still make money. My husband has proven that. I would like to reiterate that that is not the way that I will be teaching you to do it. Hey, Falana. How's it going? Everyone, I just want you to know that our friend Falana Billy, who's in the chat right now, is the one who finally inspired me to go live. She was live last week, I think. I'm sorry, I don't know what day it is anymore. But she went live and it looked so easy and so much fun that I had to finally, go live. Be a big girl, put my big girl sweater on, and go live. So thank you to Falana. And now let's see where I left off in my notes here. So we went over the bar stool bit. Okay, yes. So let's get to the juiciness here. A tip that I have for newbies who are just starting out. That tip is do your research. Make sure to do your research, because there are plenty of times that we hear these stories of people going into Goodwill and they like pick up a glass vase and they're like, oh, it's $5. Then I will go ahead and buy it. And then they look it up later and they realize the thing was worth like 30 grand and somebody just dumped it in a Goodwill, which is great. And it's awesome to find those things, but it's not awesome if you're the person selling those things, right? So do your research, take 5 minutes to Google what you've got, the brand, the name, the size. Find the exact item. Oftentimes you can find the exact same thing of what you're trying to sell online, even with pictures, descriptions, and everything. So from there, you can take the price as its retail price and then reduce it to what it should be now. Like obviously if you have an item that's brand new and it's got tags on it, that's going to be worth a lot more than the same item if it's been worn 20 times or if it's like 5 wears away from being thrown in the trash, right? So do your research so you know what price to price your stuff at. Don't undersell yourself. Don't price gouge people. Just try to be fair, Falana, you need to sell 2 vintage dolls. Yes, so definitely do as much research as you can. When it comes to vintage items, definitely spend a little bit longer than 5 minutes doing the research if you can. And if you can't find anything, you can always call an auction house as well for things that are really old or really rare. They have a little bit more experience dealing with old and rare things. So you can always call, make an appointment. I think they might charge for them, but I'm not 100% sure. You can also always check out Reddit threads. People on Reddit are amazing at giving advice and identifying items. So that's what I would recommend for vintage things, especially like dolls, comic books, like really, really old comic books, or Americana. I would say take it to an auction house if you can't find any information on that exact item. Let's see here. I hope that helps. Super Ninja Evan, can you change or lower the pro C after your post? So I'm guessing you meant price here, my dear. And yes, you can, especially with Poshmark, Depop, and Facebook. They make it super, super easy to lower the cost, especially if no one's biting. Facebook Marketplace will often send you a message that says, hey, do you want to renew your listing and maybe like lower the price? Maybe more people would be interested. Sometimes it does come down to price point being the interesting factor for buyers. Sometimes it's just that the market isn't there for the item. And what I'll usually do is if an item doesn't sell for me within 3 to 6 months, I go through the storage where I store everything and pull all that stuff out and donate it. Obviously, it's not going anywhere. If I've reduced it in price and nobody's bit yet, then it goes bye-bye. So you can change or lower the price. You can also raise the price if you need to too. Like if you put something up for auction and all of a sudden you realize, whoa, that thing is worth way more than I thought, you can go ahead and change it up, and you can always rediscount it later if you want. So yes, do your research. If you're a super organized person and you're trying to do research on an item that you want to sell, you can even track down your own receipts depending on how crazy organized you are. Some people are great like that. I am not that at that point yet, but hopefully I'll get there. You can even track down your receipts, and that tells you exactly what you paid for that thing with the tax and everything. And there's your research. You just gotta look at your paper and go ahead and discount that item. Hello, new people. So yeah, now we're getting to questions that the Abundance is Your Birthright members sent in for me. I only have one question from Nivi Canella, who I have to give a big shout out to. She's been super helpful. She has a great workshop called Happy Song Time, and I have been singing the song that I made in her workshop in my head for like 2 months. I highly recommend it. If you can get into that workshop, please do. So Nivi asks, how can you take great pictures of your items? And this is a really good question, but it's also really important. If you have pictures of your items that are just kind of blurry, or they're not really lit properly, or you just have one picture and it's like from the front angle, you're never going to sell that item. The best thing you can do is have bright lighting, a neutral background, and many, many angles. If you're selling, for example, a pair of shoes and you have maybe 3 photos, it'll sell maybe if it's, a popular item. But if you give that person 5 different views of the shoes and include a picture of the bottom so they know what the soles look like and what condition they're in, those are going to sell way faster. But you'll also get better reviews on your shop because you gave the person all the information in the listing. They didn't have to guess, is this shoe going to come with like no sole on it, or are there any rips or tears? This is a really undervalued tip, is take the best pictures you can. Really take your time to light them and set them up. Pretend like it's your job. You're like marketing this item. That's what I usually do. And I always use a wood, like a neutral wood background, which, fun fact, is my portable dance floor, which is wooden. I always sweep it and then I mop it with the Swiffer. And then once it's completely dry, I banish the dog from the area and I lay my items out flat. So you can wear your items if you want to have pictures of you wearing them in the listing. Personally, I don't usually wear the items. I usually lay them out flat on my little wooden floor with my lights kind of angled and shining on them. Some people like to model them, and it does sometimes get you more exposure and the item to sell faster. But if you're uncomfortable with that, then don't do it. If you have a mannequin, you can put the items on the mannequin too. You can hang them up against a wall like this, or a door. Just something that's neutral and plain. It's not a crazy pattern or like really contrasting colors. Just neutral. Put a couple lights on it. You can use a table lamp. You can grab your salt lamp. Whatever you've got to increase the amount of light would be super helpful. And then make sure the item is clean. A lot of times people don't talk about this, but actually spend the time to clean the item before you take pictures and then take your pictures. Some people take their pictures and they're like, I'll clean it before I send it. But you just shorted yourself like $5 to $10 because the person buying it thinks they're gonna get a dirty thing and they have to wash it and take care of it. All right, we got a question in the chat from Moss here. Moss, what do you recommend for lighting clothing items? So that is just whatever you've got around your house would be great. Personally, I don't recommend like going out to buy lighting for it unless this is going to be something that you're really trying to make into like a side hustle. You want to bring in lots of clothing and sell them, then go ahead and get yourself a ring light or a softbox light. I personally use daylight. I only take my pictures during the day because the room that I take pictures in needs a lot of natural sunlight. So I take my pictures with the sunlight. I also use the ring light that is in front of me here. And I'll usually leave it on a lower setting because it doesn't need that much, and it helps with the glare from the floor, my shiny floor. So I'll use, my ring light like tilted like this, a lot of natural daylight, and then if I need another light, I just grab a table lamp from wherever, the bedroom, wherever, and set it up as high as I need to on a stack of books or next to the item behind me, whatever works for you. Just play around with the lights in your house and see how that goes. Yay, we got a thumbs up, yay. So let's see what else I have to tell you today before the big day on October 27th. Make sure the item is clean. I put that in there in big capital letters. And that's all I have to talk about today. If you have any other questions, be sure to throw them in the chat. I'll give you a couple minutes to type because I know there's a little lag sometimes. But other than that, I want to thank everyone for watching my very first Instagram live. You all made it a lovely experience. So thank you so much for that and your positivity and all the hearts and the comments. I love it. I love your questions. You can always DM me any questions you might have. Super available to talking via DMs. And my workshop called Your Closet is a Marketplace goes live on Wednesday, October 27th. It's going to be at 7 p.m. It'll last for about an hour, depending on how many questions we have. It may go to an hour and a half, but I'm planning for an hour. You can always send me your questions if I didn't cover something after that, and you will get a recording. So after the live, about 24 to 48 hours afterwards, I will send the recording to you, and that will also come with 2 handouts because I need to give you this information, and I want to make it easy. So I'm making a little chart that'll show you which items will go best on what platforms. Hey Ariel, how you doing? And with that chart, that'll help you just kind of sort everything and put it in the right marketplace so you can make the most amount of money, but also the quickest. Let's see, question here. What is your Poshmark closet? Can I buy this dress? No. Excuse me, Super Ninja Evan, you cannot buy my dresses that are behind me. They are both from Poshmark. And my Posh closet, I am actually giving out to the people who take my workshop and sign up for my workshop. I will give you the link to my closet. But unfortunately, I'm not giving it out publicly yet. Maybe it'll come out soon. There are some privacy reasons for that. Mainly, I don't want internet people, not you people, but other people. I don't want other internet people having my address. And if you're concerned about that too, that's another thing I would recommend, making a closet that doesn't have to do with your personal brand or like your Instagram handle, if you want to keep things more on the quiet side. Also, with my workshop, besides you'll get into the live, you'll get the recording, you'll get the 2 handouts. I will also give you a code to use at sign up for Poshmark and Depop. You can choose to use them or not. Full disclosure, I will get a kickback if you choose to use them. And it's also pay what you can. So I wanted this workshop to be able to be taken by everybody, especially because it's all about like start a side hustle, make money off your own clothing. So anywhere, a donation from $1 to however many dollars your heart desires, you can go ahead and donate, and that will get you the ticket in for the live and the recording and the handouts and the amazingness. So again, thank you to everyone who was here for my live. I do plan on doing more lives in the future, and hopefully I will see you there. And if not, I'll see you on Wednesday, October 27th at 7 p.m. for your closet as a marketplace. All right, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great day and a great afternoon, and I'll see you soon.